Hi, this is Sick Readings Monitor, where I do predictions of the future. If you'd like me to do prediction for you, let me know in the comments below or the side thing of the chat. Just a reminder, our show times when we go live is on our website at psychicreadingsmonitor.com, where all that information is on the front page. Of course, our Discord channel is also listed there amongst many, many other things that you may be interested in. Let's get started with the show. Oh, just a reminder, this is the second part for this week of what's happening around the world and all that sort of thing. Of course, part one is on our Rumble channel, so make sure you go to the description down below where that information is there. Just hit that Rumble button. Make sure you join up for our Rumble for part one, and that's more of the things you cannot really talk about on YouTube. Okay, that's why that channel is there. So make sure you go check that out after this live show, of course. This is part two. This is more of the vanilla things that we can discuss on YouTube without YouTube shaking the finger at you. So make sure you go check that out a little bit later on. Okay, let's get started with today's show. And of course, I'm working alone today. The wife is at work helping people at the hospital today. Let's have a look at cryptocurrencies as a whole for the next week. We know what happened last week. A lot of things, and I think a lot of the things that happened in the cryptocurrency world, especially Bitcoin and the ETFs out there, it's kind of lackluster. Everybody thought it was going to explode to the moon, but it didn't. But it's kind of what I made this in the last show, one of the last shows, that I said it's going to be kind of lackluster for the next little while, and that's because everybody's getting accustomed, and we got the big boys playing with the cryptocurrency trading on those wonderful new places that you can trade cryptocurrencies. What's going to happen next week with cryptocurrencies moving forward? It's not horrible, and I know everybody was thinking that it's going to crash and it's going to burn and all that wonderful things, which is usually a buying opportunity for everybody who's wanting cheap crypto, right? When everybody's greedy, be afraid. And when everybody's afraid, be greedy. That's the rule. And everybody seems to forget this rule. When everything's crashing and burning and all that stuff, that's your indicator to buy. Always go against what everybody else is doing. And that's the big lesson for today. And always, when you're trying to get a leg up on the cryptocurrency market. Okay, let's have a look at what's happening with the crypto market for next week. Could it be more lackluster? Could it explode in price? And then you're just too late, right? Oh, always get it when everybody's crying, right? That's when you buy your crypto. When it sits or when it dips, that's when you buy, right? So everybody wants to do all the charts and all that wonderful stuff. It's more simpler than that. When everybody, you see the YouTube video, it's crashing, it's gonna burn. That's when you buy. When everybody's, yay, that's when you stop and you go, I'm gonna sell a little bit, take some profit, and that's usually the indicators. Okay, enough of me rambling about. Let's have a look. Cryptocurrency. These cards are upright to me, upside down for you. It's just the way it is. The health of everything, I think it's going to be taking a lot longer than many people had suggested. Even though the cryptocurrency markets look pretty good today, I looked this morning. There's going to be some finite situations going on within the cryptocurrency market that people aren't paying attention to. And of course, this is when the big wigs try to shake you out of the tree, out of the cryptocurrencies moving forward. And this is that term, loose hands, right? They're going to shake you out of that tree so you panic sell and they buy up your cryptocurrencies for nice and cheap, which you should learn to do. Okay? When everybody's afraid, be greedy. Okay? And that's what's going to be happening. There's going to be a lot of new adjustments moving forward with the cryptocurrency market. The price we thought was stuck. We got that Three of Swords happening, meaning your goal, and something coming between those. And that's going to be alleviated in the next week a little bit more. Okay? So don't do knee-jerk reactions. Don't do things emotionally. Look at the grander scale of things and start buying your crypto, not financial advice, of course. You do. Those reps from all the ETF companies are going to be hammering on the phone. I remember those days when I was a financial advisor, when a new product would come out and you'd phone all your clients. Hey, there's this new thing. You want to get involved? And I'd be doing this all day on the telephone back in the day when you had the actual phone. And encouraging people to buy. And now we got all the commercials coming out, some good, some bad. Kind of going back to that dream I had a long time ago of the dancing girls and the singing monk. Had an ETF. There was about a year when it wasn't that great. And everybody got, doing all that. And then after the year, it went up like crazy for quite some time. So I think that we're headed into that. I think everything in the cryptocurrency world is much faster than every other asset class that's out there. So next week, I'll expect a little bit more lackluster, some great things happening, and some alterations to Bitcoin moving forward. Great time to buy in the next week. Even now, we got people out there like, what's her name? Elizabeth Warren and Jamie Dimon going, no, doing all that stuff. Don't listen to what they tell you. Do the opposite. You'll be just fine. Okay? Let's move on, making sure that we got some questions on the board for later on in the show. Big question around the world is about housing and the housing crisis and when to buy, how to buy, which seems to be a big question on everybody's mind. Let's have a look at the housing market for the next week. And let me know in the comments down below if you like this kind of structure for the week of part 1, part 2. Kind of an overview of the week before we go into Monday. If you like it or not. My YouTube analytics says it's good. So I'm going to stick with it for a while unless it tells me different. So the housing market, it's going to be a really rough stretch for the next week. Everybody looking for to sell or to buy a certain house. It's still going to be way overpriced. We're going to be going way, way, way up in price and mortgages and all that sort of thing. And it's because there's not enough housing to go around because we got all these new people coming in illegally or legally or whatever. And it's making things tough all around. I think the price is going to come down a tiny bit as everything starts to readjust itself. So it's still not a seller's market. It's more of a buyer's market, which is a weird thing to say. The health of everything is really, everybody's going through the grinder for the next week, and it's going to be that way for quite some time. People wanting to buy and sell and all that sort of thing. But I think we're going to be getting over the hump a little bit in the next week where it's going to be more of a buyer's market, not a seller's market, which is strange to say. People are finding balance, and a lot of uh, homeowners and sellers and all that are going to start to find the balance that they need to survive for the next week or so. Moving forward, I do see a change in about a year or so where housing is going to be affordable. I think that's because of everything that's going on with the currency market and the banking industry and all that sort of thing. A tiny bit better. Okay? Not amazing. It's just like, it's better. Okay? But not amazing. Okay? So that's next week for the housing market. Hopefully you're not stuck. You're just going to have to hang on for dear life for the next little while. Let's get into the next one, and that's the stock market. The opposite, the S&P 500, the blah, 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 blah. Salt and pepper. That's how I used to remember back in the day. And when I was writing my tests, the salt of S&P. So let's have a look at the stock market overall for the next week. Is it great? Is it bad? Is it growing? Is it shrinking? Is it collapsing? Is there going to be more money pumped into the system? And I think that's going to be the case because they got to keep that stock market going. So they're going to be printing more funny money and all that sort of thing. And you're going to hear a lot more things on the news that they're going to be turning on the money printers to keep that old system alive as much as they can. So throw some cards down. Looking to new horizons. People are very excited about everything in the next week, that there's some new things happening in the stock market overall. Some new opportunities, some new money coming into the fray. It's going to start to grow, but it's in the distance. It's not quite yet. For the next week, it's still the same grind as we've been going through in the last little while. Financially, it's going to be not the greatest. Okay. Maybe if you've been holding forever, it's going to be okay. But I think the sentiment of people are going to be walking away from that system and going into other things. For the real money makers, it's going to be a tough slog for the next week overall. And there's not going to be any of those wonderful partnerships and all that wonderfulness that comes from government and all the other entities that affect the stock market. Plus, we have some fighting around the world. You got to be careful on how we say that, and that always affects the stock market as well. People kind of get shy with their stock market trading because fighting in other places around the world kind of impacts everything. Everything impacts everything else, right? We're all interconnected. So I think with this new thing, it's going to be affecting much of the stock market. You might want to, if you are thinking of getting into the stock market and you're looking for some great trades and all that, might be looking into companies that do weapons and stuff like that. I'll leave it at that. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. And I think a lot of money is going to be made in that segment of the stock market. Okay? Anything that makes things go boom. And this is why I didn't really get into the stock market, because you're going to be putting money into things that make other things go boom, which to me is not a great feeling. But if you're wanting to, because of the fighting, you might want to look into that for some money. Okay. Let's look at the next one. This comes from the Discord channel. Somebody was asking about Beam versus Vet. Two fairly good cryptocurrencies moving forward. Let's have a look. So this is going to be the Beam, and that's going to be the Vet, which, if you're stranded on a desert island and you had two choices, I would just get both myself. I'm crazy that way. And you had the choice between Beam versus Vet. Which would be the better of the two? And it looks like by the cards, we have Beam. Is probably the top one overall. So if you had the choice, only had those two choices, it would be Beam. And we got that Judgment card. It's judged to be the better of the two. There's going to be some nice money making from this particular situation moving forward. And a lot of people are kind of pretty good with it, but they're all focused on the Bitcoin, what you should have in your portfolio in the first place, as opposed to VAT, which is a great cryptocurrency. Okay. Don't get me wrong. It's still good. The health of it seems to be okay. The price is okay for the next little while. But there's going to be an abrupt change in what people are thinking about VET. We got that death card. And doesn't mean it's going to die. It just means an abrupt change in direction of the this particular thing, which is VET. So in the next little while, you're going to see an abrupt change in how people perceive VET moving forward, and it's going to be enough to change the overall metrics of VET for the next little while. How people think will make people, where people focus is where they're going to be putting that money. And I think there's going to be a bit of abrupt change for VET in the next little while. So, meaning less money coming in. Might be some good buying opportunities there for everybody in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm picking up. So if you should happen to want to pick some up, probably in the next 2 weeks, it's going to be some good prices there if you should want to. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. Somebody on the Discord channel was asking about the BTC bottom, and I don't. These are the people that want it to crash, or they want it to burn, and this, so they can buy it at a nice cheap price. I think it's about 23,000 is kind of the bottom. In Canadian money, it's about 50,000. That's probably the bottom, and everything up from there is gravy. Okay, so let's throw some cards down for the BTC bottom. Are we going to see lower? Okay, like I don't think it's ever going to get down, $9,000 American or anything like that. It's going to kind of stay in a range where everybody who's an actual Bitcoin enthusiast is saying, no, this is the line. We're not going to go below that. Okay. And I'm one of those people, by the way. Okay. For the next little while, it's going to be a little dodgy. I don't think it's going to be going lots of building upon the platform and a lot of things happening on the platform and BTC itself. There's going to be some shaky times in the next little while for BTC. It's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, which is normal. Okay? Don't sweat it. We're going to be fine. But it's going to be touch and go for the next little while. And there's some, these big decisions from on high, Elizabeth Warren, are going to be falling flat on their face because nobody's going to listen to them. Well, not any sane person or anybody who's in the know. They're going to be ignoring that and buy their Bitcoin otherwise, right? So for the next little while, expect it to go all over the place. I don't think it's going to be crashing much below 24,000. for the next little while. It's going to be shaky, but wait for those opportunities to buy in. That's just the way it is for cryptocurrencies. And the last question somebody had, it was on the Discord. I read it through again. This is from our friend Marlon about the pendulum, it being witchcraft. And I read it again. I go, what's wrong with witchcraft? I know many witches. Some are good. Most are the gray witches, which is kind of in the middle. And it's kind of the way he phrased the question is it's evil and bad and blah, 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 blah. Pendulums, tarot cards, in some camps are considered evil. Okay? They're only tools. It's your intention behind using of these things. When you're using the energy from this source, it doesn't care if you're using it for bad or good. Okay? There's a little clause of karma, but it is just the power that you're utilizing to make changes with your tarot cards or your pendulum. Okay? Right? Got my little pendulum. And saying that it's witchcraft and all. I know many shamans. I look at all these things. Once you get to a certain level of knowledge within psychism, it's all the same. It's just different approaches to the same thing. It's your belief. It's your intention. So when you use the pendulum or the tarot cards or teacup reading or psychism or channeling or mediumship, which, of course, it was straight from Samantha Jane from another YouTube channel. She's saying that it's witchcraft. And I think she was alluding that it's evil. It's not evil. It's all dependent on the person utilizing the power and the tools. It's like saying a drill, for screws is evil. It's only a tool. Okay? We have to make the distinction. It's all dependent on the person utilizing the tool and their intention. So I always say, when you're trying to do things for yourself in your life, let's say you're using the law of attraction, the greatest power that you have is that power of intention. And if it aligns with your path, right? Could be bad, good. Excuse me. It does not matter to the universal mind. Okay? So we have to get rid of this. Ouija boards are evil. You're just channeling things. Tarot cards channel energy. Pendulums channel energy. It's what you utilize it for. It's all dependent on the person utilizing it. And yes, if you're not protected, as you should always be when you're utilizing tools, evil things can muddy the waters. So whenever you're using a tarot card, pendulum, flame reading, dice, bones, what else have I used? Sugar, salt, runes. If you do not protect yourself with an aura of light, cocoon yourself in white light energy of protection, and say a few words of protection from the highest and the best, yes, you can be influenced by naughty creatures or entities around you. Okay, and then there's your own self thought. You're neither good nor bad, right? But you can utilize things for good or bad. Just remember when you're doing pendulums or tarot cards or anything like that, or nothing at all, you're using mediumship. Mediumship can be used for bad. Samantha Jane. I've known many mediums in my lifetime. Most are good. They're on the good side, but some of them have been channeling naughty creatures on the other side too. And everybody, if you're a medium, you're going to be channeling people that used to have an earth life, and now they're talking to you through whatever means. Doesn't mean that they're good or bad, right? They could be bad. The other side, when you go over, there's no heaven or hell. Get rid of that notion. It's only what you bring with you. Okay? So when you guys go to the other side, it's what you bring with you is going to be your experience. And you're going to be living in that experience until you ask for help. Okay? So if you're channeling old Uncle Bob from the other side, he may be in a bad state. He brought with him to the other side his experience. Okay? So when you're channeling that person, they could be not the nicest person. So just remember that. And if you protect yourself from entities with white light, then you're going to have a better result. Hopefully that straightens that out. With this bad and good and witchcraft and all, it's kind of a narrow thinking of psychism. Okay? And the whole thing, mediumship and channeling and tarot cards, and they're only tools. Okay? So hopefully that answers any of those questions. Let's move on to the chat before we get too. Don't want a war with Samantha Jane or anything like that. Duke it out. Let's have a look at what everybody's been asking. We got Marlon. Hey, Marlon. Hopefully that information I just gave you hits home. Carney was asking, hi, Andre. LJ Psychic said silver will go up in price in March. What do you see? I've seen her show. It's pretty darn good. Let's have a look. I think silver is going to be going up in the next little while. I don't think it's going to be in March, April, probably April, May, June. It's going to start to climb up a small bit, but it is going to be going up in that time period. I think she's right on the mark in that period of time. I'm just channeling right now, pure channeling. You have to remember this is just a tool. I don't quite need it all the time, but I'm thinking that she's quite on the mark and she's right on in the pocket, as they say, as a musician. I was a musician at one time, still am. Yeah, we're going to see a huge change in silver, gold, platinum, and all that sort of thing in the next little while as the traditional financial markets start to waver. Okay? And that's going to be in the next 2024, 2025. We're going to start to see those huge changes. And this is why we have this big fight between the old system and the new system. And all the people that made all their money in the old system, okay, are fighting the cryptos. We're watching that right now because they don't want to be poor, okay? And they're very hesitant on getting into the new system because they don't understand it, and they made all their money in the old system and they don't want that to change. And that's what we're experiencing right now. Even though gold and silver are kind of the old standard, we might have to go back to that for a short period of time until cryptocurrencies really take off and everybody's excited. I always suggest get that gold, get that silver. I've got some and are safe. And keep it safe, and it's going to come in very, very handy. So she's very correct on that, LJ. Okay? Thank you for that. Hi, started talking to this new guy online. How do you see it unfolding with him? Oh, okay. Hmm. It's going to be an experience. I'll give you that one. Every new connection, don't put all your eggs in one basket, as they always say. Talk to many people. Okay, that's the first thing that I'm seeing. I think the whole particular situation, don't put too much emphasis on this particular person. It may lead to something, but it wouldn't be for much longer, for a long time period of time. Okay. But it's going to lead to other things, and it's going to be greater and build up that network of people that you are talking about. If I'm understanding what you're trying to get at, don't hedge all your bets on one thing. Okay, get out there, talk. I think this person that you're talking to right now is going to lead to other things. Okay, hopefully that is understandable. And hopefully that helps you out. Marlon, hello Marlon. Can my friend Shishish, new to the channel, get a 3-card reading if possible, please? She likes a doctor, but not sure if he likes her. She also wants to start investing this year too. Okay. Where is she? I don't see her in my comment section. Maybe she's shy. It's okay. We love the new people coming in and asking questions, and gives a new perspective on everything. Health-wise, she's going to be going through a trials and tribulations for the next little while. I think she's going to be needing to pay attention to many of the things that she's been ignoring. Okay. In her health, I think it's more emotional and that sort of thing. And she has to learn that she is stronger than she is. Okay. And a lot of people are in that camp that they don't feel that they are worth anything and that sort of thing. You are worth everything. Okay. And how this other doctor feels about you, I guess it's a kind of a romantic thing, maybe. He likes you, but not in that direction. And I think you're going to be lifting from there. Don't let it tear you down. Okay? If they like you in that way or not. But it's going to lead to other things. And I'm hoping these words I'm telling Shishi encourage her to branch out into other things, and that she is greater than she feels. We are all greater than we feel we are, even me. Okay? Financially, I think she's going to be doing what? If you got that wonderful card, Queen of Cups, where she's really observing the cup, and that's the wealth, right? And she's going to be doing very, very well. It's going to be a period of time when she's going to be focusing on many of the new things. Get some Bitcoin. And you're going to do all right. This is the moment in time for her to start looking at all the different aspects and doing all that wonderful research and doing all that wonderful stuff. And once you go down that rabbit hole, you never get out if you get in deep. I think you're going to do just fine. And this is the time to show your work and start showing who you are as a person. You're going to be building upon what you have and becoming more. Okay? Don't be afraid. It's going to be just fine. Okay? Hopefully that helps you out. What else do we got? And asks, Will Star Atlas reach $1 by 2026? No. It's just one of my guides. No. Okay. Let's throw some cards for some more insight. I know a lot of people want these gaming tokens to go to the moon, but they first still got to get a game that everybody enjoys and can't live without. Kind of like Minecraft, right? Yeah, it's not going to be going any close to that dollar situation. It's going to be a lot lower than that for the next couple of years. It will get some footing in that time period. It will go up, but I'm not thinking that it's going to get to that dollar anytime soon, unfortunately. Okay? Not bad, but not the dollar. Don't want to discourage you from buying any of these wonderful cryptocurrencies. So with the ETFs launched now, will we see the markets pump now into the halving after the few weeks of lull? Yeah, we're going to see all kinds of wonderful. If you wanted up and down, up and down, up and down, the roller coaster ride, hang on, buckle up. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. I think last week it was in Canadian price went up all the way up to 65 and then came down, and we're going to start to see a whole lot of that, and that's going to be the elites trying to shake you out of the cryptocurrency market. Yeah, I gotta sell. Don't sell. Don't do knee-jerk reactions in the next little while, because it's going to explode in price once they feel they got all the regular people out. Okay, then they're going to be cranking that sucker up to the hilt. This is when they're going to be putting all that wonderful commercials out there. All the workers at these firms on the phone talking to clients, all that sort of thing. And when they run out of the money of the cryptocurrencies that they have in storage, then they're going to have to fight with all the other 11 for good price on new crypto, and that's going to be making that crypto go up crazy. It's going to be a year or so until we see explosive growth. The halving will take effect, and it'll probably get to 100,000, 150,000 about a year after. It's usually within a year, and it's going to be beautiful. Okay? I wouldn't worry about it too much. You buy it, you sit. I'm thinking of things for my new, because on YouTube I can have a merch store, have coffee cups. Sit on it. Relax. Have some coffee. Talk to a friend. Go outside. Taking the deep breath of air. Adrenio? Okay. Hello? 3 cents. Let's have a look. No. It's going to be okay. There's other competition that's a little bit better, like Chills or whatever they call it, Chills, like chili. Them, their health is a little bit shaky for the next little while, and they're going to have the tower situation for the first little bit. Everybody jump out of the building. It's hit by lightning. Oh, boy. So that price is going to go up for the next little while. So it's going to be, once it hits the market, it always does this. Up. Every time. And then while it's out in the wild, it's going to do this for a short period of time, and then it'll start to slowly climb like many other cryptocurrencies out there. 3 cents in 2024? No. unfortunately. But a lot of people behind the scenes thinking it's going to be amazing and all that sort of thing. It's going to have some staying power, but it's not going to be anytime soon. Okay? So if you're sitting on it, keep sitting. I'm going to have those coffee cups. Sit on it. My new design I'm going to work on. Maybe t-shirts. Sit on it. We're going to have some good fun with that. Maybe when they come out, you can buy a shirt or a coffee cup. You can drink coffee with me on the live show. Thank you for that question. Daisy Chains asks, hi, Andre and chat. How long will the Red Sea trade backup last? Years. Okay, this is more of a Rumble question. It's going to be a while because it's tied to that country that's causing some trouble right now, and I can't say the word because YouTube will do the choppity chop. That's going to take some time. It's about 2 to 3 years that's going to be resolved. Okay, maybe I'll put it on the next Rumble Classic or show next Saturday. Okay, remind me on the Discord. Can I have 3 cards, please, Andre? Thank you so much. Yeah, you got to be really careful here on YouTube. I could tell you what I think about that, but YouTube might not like it. For the next little while, Daisy Chains, I think you're going to be going through a bit of a struggle health-wise, more of an emotional thing, because you're worried about everything and all that sort of thing. Stop worrying about everything. Go outside and have a walk and all that sort of thing. Breathe in the air. Know that you are better than you think you are. Okay? Financially, going to be a little low for the next week or so. And you're going to be you're looking for great ways of building upon that wealth, even that we're going through the mud right now. And there's going to be some opportunities there for some financial gain. Okay? Look around. While you're walking outside and taking in that deep, I think you're in the UK, it's cold. Look around. See if there's opportunities. Okay? And the people that are around you, you're going to have some situations with some of the higher ups for the next week or so, and they're going to be trying. Okay? But you're going to get over this because you're taking that deep breath, you're using that white light around you, using the law of attraction, action to get those things done and staying focused, not get. The situation is you have to not be as emotional about things, which is hard, I know, because you're directly attached to it, and work through the process. And everything is a process and a learning opportunity for you. Okay? So a little bit rough for the next week, but you're going to be okay. All right? You're going to learn many lessons. That's what one of my old teachers would say. Many lessons to see and learn. When will we see plastic banned to help Mother Earth? I don't see that happening anytime soon. I remember back in the day when they were trying to go from paper bags to plastic bags to save the planet because we're chopping down all the trees for the paper bags, right? That was the line back in 1980s. Yes, I'm that old. And now they're going the opposite. We got to get out of plastic back into paper to save the planet. And plastic's not harmful. Well, if we dispose of it properly, it's not that bad for the planet. And much of this climate stuff is, you got to be careful. Not everything that they're saying. Okay? So I don't see plastic going away anytime soon. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. Is there going to be a brand new hydrogen site being built not too far from me in the city? Will this be used for energy? I'm picking up no. Hydrogen's a great thing to utilize. Here in Winnipeg, we had buses running on hydrogen fuel cells, and they were wonderful, but it didn't go anywhere. But better than electricity cars. But it's cheap to run things on hydrogen. That's why they didn't do it, because there's no money to be made. I think there's some legal things that are going to be happening in the next little while about hydrogen. They're going to be going back to coal and all the other wonderful stuff to power things. May not be feasible for them at this period of time because of politics. Okay? So, sorry. It'd be great, but I don't think they'll get it done because there's no money to be made. That's how the world works. We are energy and light. Yes, we are. Yes, the elite. Well, I don't call them for no more. We are the elite. They are shitheads. Yes. Thanks for the discussion. Yes, you're welcome. Couldn't find the Tower of Light prayer through on Google. Should be there. Look in documents or go Tower of Light, then go to, on the top of your Google search, it's all video. You might find a video of it. Pictures, I think, is the next thing. You might find it in there. Okay. Batman, XRP, EFT, ETF. Soon? Not for a while. We got to straighten out all the other things. Okay. Quick look, ETF, XRP. I don't think it's going to be for a while. I think they're going to be going through some troubles with their thing because of the way they're attached to banks. It's not a good look because they're going to be doing the CBDCs, and it's not a good look for XRP to anyone who's freedom-minded. You got to be careful what you say. And I don't think that ETF is going to be anytime soon, probably another 5-6 years until that happens. I think they're going to be working on the Ethereum one first, and then Chainlink, and then everything before the XRP. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. When will UK banks become comfortable with clients using crypto to buy property? Banks are not very comfortable with cryptocurrencies in general because they never, not all. Well, there's a lot of banks that didn't get into it, and by the way, things are happening in the UK. I'm pretty certain that they didn't get into it when they should have. They didn't. They probably didn't think it was going to go anywhere. Silly people. Or it's just a ploy to get everybody scared and out of cryptocurrency. I know they got the big tax things. There's videos on YouTube now that tell you how to circumvent that for the UK. It won't be for another 5-6 years until they go, okay, we'll play ball, but it won't be for quite some time. Okay. Hello, Andre. Do you still do flame readings? Can I get one? I can. Tell me right. This will be probably the last thing for today because I got a client I have to talk to at 11. Got the flame. Now we're going to use the evil witchcraft. No, not that one. It's a used one. There we go. I'm going to put primal cipher power into the paper. It's that easy. Surround ourselves with white light as we go through the process of doing a flame reading for primal. Okay. And then you take your piece of paper, and then you take your flame and you scorch the paper. Your intuition will tell you when to stop. Okay. Boop. Normally, have a bowl of water nearby in case you run into trouble. It'd be a hot topic, and your fingers may get a little singed. Okay, here we go. Flame. That's what a flame reading looks like. Okay, with the piece of paper, you see little pictures in there. Okay, so what are we seeing for primal? Top of my head, there's going to be some muscles. So it could be muscle strains and all that sort of thing happening in the near future. Are you going through that right now? I'm full impact right now on this channeling right now. So be careful of any strenuous exercise or pulling of things. I think you're going to be hurting yourself a tiny bit, overdoing it, maybe trying to impress a girl or something. Who knows? There's some new thing that you're going to be getting into, and you're going to be overdoing it and all that sort of thing. Could be skiing. Who knows? Over here, I'm seeing that there's ants. So doing work, a whole community of people doing, a bunch of people doing work for the same goal. You may be involved in some new organization that's going to be coming around you in a big way. That's going to be all with the same goal around you. Could be a business, could be a job, that sort of thing, or just something else on the side that you're going to be involved in. Maybe that's why you get your strain your muscles. Looks like a ninja sword. It's sharp. It's cutting through the baloney. So you're going to be cutting through a lot of the baloney in your life in the next week or two. Getting through all the nonsense, getting to the core of everything, and focusing on the more important things in life. See? You see the little picture, and you put it out to the universe, and all this information comes to you. Boom, boom, boom. Right? That's how it works. Flip. We got hourglass. So there's going to be some time-sensitive things that are going to be happening in the next little while. Time's running out. Make sure you get all that stuff done before the time is done. Don't put it off. I think you've been maybe tomorrow. So make sure you get that stuff done, and it's going to be rewarding you in a big way in the next little while. Okay. There's going to be a lot of walking involved in the next little while. I see a nice little foot here. Motion. So you're going to be taking a lot of motion. And so it's probably connected with this other thing that you're involved in, and making great gains with that motion. Okay. And a thumb. So there's some security. See, thumb, security, biometrics. I think you're going to be coming across something like that in the next little while. That's going to be very important in the next little while. Okay, hopefully that helps you out. And that is a flame. I'll get it into the camera. Flame reading. Awesome stuff. Hopefully that helps you out in a big way. We are at 56 minutes. I'm going to have to cut her short. We always got the next show, which is on Tuesday. Always a lot of fun. Gotta get out of here. Go back to there. Hopefully enjoyed today's show. This was part 2 of 2 parts. The first being on Rumble, so go check that out in our description. There's the little button there. You can go to our Rumble channel. to see part 1. I think I'm going to do a little bit more of that in the future. So if you'd like a personal reading with me, make sure to go to psychicreadingsbyandrew.com, where all that information is there. If you would like a personal healing with my wonderful wife, the Reiki Master, make sure you go to the psychicreadingsbyandrew.com website for that information as well. If you would like to purchase a treasure cold storage wallet to protect your cryptocurrencies from everything, that is also on sale or for sale on our website. If you should happen to purchase one from our store, make sure that you know that we make a little bit of profit from that. Okay, with that said, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.